Well, folks, it is time to talk about weather again. I don't know about you or where you live, but in my state, it is snowing today. I don't know how many inches we'll be getting. They say not too much, but if you live up north anywhere in the world, you probably have snow or will be getting snow very soon. In the state of Wisconsin, we have snow. so, so let's talk about weather and wheelchairs. There are a couple of different things, and power wheelchairs are a little bit different than manual wheelchairs. So let's start with manual wheelchairs. As manual wheelchairs are metal, and you have to propel yourself, and there's snow, and it's wet, and it's miserable. So, a couple of things you can do, or you should do. Obviously, to cover yourself well, even though, you might not feel, and it's like, oh, I don't feel, so who cares? But the weather can sting and can break down your skin. So, you want to cover your legs really well, make sure that they're warm and toasty, and your feet, obviously, and the coat and the jacket up top, and hat and whatever you need, because our skin can break down. So we don't want sores. We don't want, frozen toes. So, you know what I'm talking about if you live up north. But the other thing for your wheelchair itself, if you have, and this you might not know, but the cushion, if it's gel, depending on the temperature, it might get really cold, might freeze. So just know that if you have a different kind of cushion that is just foam, it might be better to use that one when you go out when it's really, really cold. The gel cushions don't fare so well in the very cold weather. The other thing is tires. You can use what's called all-terrain tires, and I will post a picture somewhere here. So, right there. So, all-terrain tires are a little bit more expensive than the normal, regular tires, but it's good to have on hand those type of tires so that when you go out in this kind of weather, that you can switch out tires and know that you have a good grip on wherever you're going. You don't want to slide and slip and slide and fall over. So all terrain. And then for your hands, it's going to be a little wet, cold, and all that kind of stuff. I use some, even though I'm in a power wheelchair, I do use some kind of like a skier's mittens, and they are rubberized on the bottom so that, because I have to have my hands out to drive. Even though I have a joystick, I still want to keep my balance and have my hands available in case something happens. So in your case, you're going to have both hands out to propel. So you want to have gloves that are waterproof and that are going to keep your hands warm, and you can take them off once you get to wherever you're going, but make sure they're toasty warm. And I just have these gloves that I love, and I'm gonna hate it if I lose them ever, because they're just really waterproof and rubberized and all that kind of stuff. So you might want to look around, especially Amazon has some good deals on rubberized waterproof mittens these next 2 days, especially for Cyber Monday. So if you get a chance, look around, make sure that you have some warm and waterproof mittens for your manual wheelchair. All right, I think that's about it. Just know that the cold weather and sub temperatures for metal, might compromise your manual wheelchair a little bit. So you want to be attentive to the metal on your wheelchair when you're going out and you come back in. For power wheelchairs, you could change tires if you wanted to. They are expensive. So either you save up and you purchase more tougher all-terrain wheels. Uh, Let me see what else. There's not a whole lot you can change on your power wheelchair. I'm just hoping that if you have a simple wheelchair, which is, the type I have, you could change tires at this time of year. You can have the garage do it or the provider do it for you. But again, they are more expensive, so you'd have to save up your pennies to be able to do that swap out of tires. Mine are pretty good already, so I'm not concerned. So, I have a Jazzy Select 6 and it handles the snow pretty well, and the temperature, so I'm just careful and aware. I do kind of like a donut before I come in to get the snow off a little bit before I come back in. For the weather, because you're going to be going faster, mine goes up to 4 miles per hour, which is not a whole lot in these modern days of power wheelchairs. But, when you're going at that speed and the cold weather, you can feel it. So it's really important to dress up warm, make sure your skin is covered. I don't feel much on my left leg, or at all. So I'm aware that, I might say, oh, I don't feel anyway, but I do cover them well with another sweater. Or I took a vest and I kind of sewed up the arms. And so I put that vest over my legs, and it's a waterproof vest, a windproof, waterproof vest. So that's another idea that you could do. Or a heavy duty sweater that you would have, just lay it over your legs so they're covered. Let's see. And I have the rubberized waterproof mittens, because I want to have my hands out when I'm driving, and make sure everything is behaving, especially me in the power wheelchair. And I'm driving, you have that one hand out with a joystick. So you want to make sure that your hand remains dry. And my coat wasn't quite fitting. I put on a few pounds, if you haven't seen. It wasn't the turkey that did it. But I did have to get a better jacket, so I took advantage of the Good Friday sales, the Black Friday. So I got myself a jacket that fits better and it'll keep me warm. So I'm really aware of the changes, and you gotta be aware of your battery, because in the colder air, the colder temperatures, your battery's not gonna last as long as it does during the summer or the spring. So just be aware that if you're going a longer distance, know that battery might drain a bit faster than it would in normal weather, whatever that is. But in colder temperatures, you get the idea. So you want to make sure that you're checking your battery or you're recharging it every night, and make sure that if you're going a longer distance outside, that your battery is not going to hold up as long. And in Arizona, the same thing. If it's extremely hot, know that that's going to drain the battery. So it's important to know. And again, with cushions, if you use a gel type cushion, that's going to react to the very cold weather. So you might want to have a different type of cushion. I have to look for one because I have like a honeycomb type cushion. So and it is a gel type. So we'll see what I can come up with. Especially when I go out, so that it doesn't react to the cold. Let's see. So batteries, metal, do that donut before you go out, before you come back in, so you can shake off some of the snow on your tires. We have a large mat also when I come back in, so I do a donut there too, so to get off the snow. But that's about it. You don't want to take any unnecessary risks with your power wheelchair. If it snows a lot and it's, above 2 inches, you want to really be careful you might want to avoid piles of snow. You might have to go around on the street temporarily to get around that pile of snow. Sometimes when they scrape off the snow from the sidewalk, they leave a pile there, and that's an obstacle for us, and they don't know that. But, I have to get back on the street and go around it, and that puts us in danger for the traffic. So make sure that you are very visible. You can use some lights. Some guys are really techie, and they can install some lights on their power wheelchair. I use a guard's vest, and I also have a headlamp. If it's very dark and I'm coming back, then I use a headlamp. What else do I use? I have reflective stickers all over my power wheelchair, and you've seen that, and I've done videos on this. So in the back, I have red ones, all red, so from the top to the bottom. And on my sides, I have white. I've been transitioning over to just white ones, and I have like yellow ones on my footrest. So I'm covered. So I know that last night, I went to church and I was going through the parking lot, and I think one of the cars kind of stopped and kind of looked to figure out what was I. Who the heck? So, but he was alert that I was coming through the parking lot, making sure that I stayed away from any cars that were backing up. So it was that kind of thing. It was nighttime, so I was being extra careful. And one of the drivers just wanted to figure out what were those reflective stickers going through the parking lot, because they do light up like a Christmas tree. So you want to be extra careful. Again, don't take any unnecessary risks going through piles of snow, because you might get stuck. For those who have all-terrain wheels on their power wheelchair, blessings to you if you want to plow through those piles of snow. But again, even for you need to be careful that, the wheelchair doesn't tip one way or the other. It'll get you through, but it might be a little scary there. So that's what I have for weather. Just be careful. Don't take any unnecessary risks, even if it's a manual wheelchair or power wheelchair. And get help if you need to. Can you take me here? Can you take me there? Take a van instead of trying to go through the sidewalks to wherever you're going. So those are my tips. Stay warm. Stay well, stay safe. Don't forget to subscribe if this video was helpful and that you found other helpful videos on my channel. So subscribing tells me, how I'm doing. Likes helps spread this video around the YouTube world. So that's what likes do. And they also help me, see how XYZ video is doing. So I'm hoping that you will stay safe from the weather, and I'll see you in the next report.